I guess we'd been starting to kind of help together at church with a bunch of things, haven't we?
And spending almost every day at some point doing something together, and realised that actually maybe that was something that was more than just a friendship, and that we needed to have a conversation and see what's happening.
Yeah, and I guess the beach front here is quite a significant place for us because it's where we kind of first got to that point where we were feeling the need to have a conversation. And it wasn't until the end of that week that we actually ended up having a conversation, but that was probably the first point where we realised, certainly I realised, that perhaps this was something we needed to talk about.
How long exactly have we been together?
What's the date? March 22nd. 2 years, 4 months, and 10 days.
Yeah, yeah.
And about 2 hours.
Oh my goodness. We met on Emma's first night into Portsmouth, so I was in my 3rd year of university. I was in a placement year. She's a fresher.
I obviously started coming to King's Church to a lot of the welcoming events and student events. We just got to know each other, started going to the pub with some friends and texting and messaging, and then eventually we both kind of realised that we had feelings for each other. Both talked to the same person about those feelings for each other, and then we just kind of went from there.
Yeah.
So the Rose Gardens were a really cool part of the first part of us getting together, because we wanted to get away out of maybe the company of others we might be bumping into that we might know, and a place to hang out and kind of grow that friendship better, really.
Yeah, we weren't wanting to be secretive or anything, but we wanted just to have a bit of space, I guess, and so we were trying to avoid hanging out in each other's houses too much, and we spent quite a lot of time up here. There's a little patch of grass just over there.
It was important, for us to just have some time and space to ask questions and get to know each other a bit better, really.
I don't think we would really live together until we were married.
Obviously, when we stay at each other's parents' house over holidays, and then we'll stay in the same house then, but in different rooms.
Yeah, different rooms.
But I don't think we'd live together.
Yeah, not until we're married.
It's just something we would really like to save until marriage.
We would never have considered living together before marriage. That was not even something we even contemplated, really. We knew that was something that we wanted to save for marriage. We knew that marriage is special and supposed to be different from relationship in a dating sense, and we wanted to keep as much as possible for marriage.
I think because when I first came to university I was living the student lifestyle that didn't have the church involved in it at all. I've sort of seen both sides of the picture, but it wasn't fulfilling at all, and having woken up the next day and not known who I was with and things like that, and woken up in places I didn't recognise where I was and things like that. I don't know, I would much rather spend an evening with Emma and then cycle home for half an hour than spend a night out and wake up in a ditch somewhere and not know what happened. So it's a bit more of an interesting story with us, I think, because Emma has lived a life that's probably a lot more pure than me, and she's been a Christian a lot shorter amount of time. I've done the whole, going out and having sex and things like that. And I think when we first got together, that was something we really had to work through, because I was from a place where I hadn't lived in purity, and Emma had. And I think we've come to a place now where we are comfortable with that, and where when we do get married, we will feel fulfilled.
I've got plenty of non-Christian friends who probably would question why you wait for sex and all that kind of stuff. But I was okay with that because I knew it'd be worth it in the end. We didn't want to kiss until we got engaged. The whole idea of actually that was the stage where we're making a commitment to each other, and therefore that level of intimacy could increase.
And I think as well as that, when we did get engaged, like it really made that season of being an engaged couple just feel really special.
Yeah, because it was different, I guess. It was more exciting.
So at the moment our boundaries are we don't kiss on the lips, we kiss on the cheek, or forehead or whatever, any other place really. Appropriate places. We don't obviously don't have sex before marriage. We don't lie down together. We if we're in a room, we have the door open or at least ajar and not fully shut. I think in fact when our boundaries are further back, I'd say that's when we are closer, like when we have like a stronger friendship.
In some respects, maybe not being intimate can distance you a little bit. Maybe the question is that a good thing and is that appropriate? There were some things in the early days, like you were quite kind of measured about your physical boundaries, which was a really good thing.
I think in the moment you're like, oh, if you're dating or whatever, you're like, oh man, I'd have to wait. It feels ages away or whatever. And I would just want to encourage people that it's worth it and to keep going and be patient and persevere because you get there.
You know, we'd be lying if we said that those boundaries we'd set for ourselves, that there weren't points in our relationship where that was hard and that was a hard choice to stick to. But actually the commitment to those boundaries and the commitment to kind of working through those seasons for me was a really valuable thing and well worth it.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we are very happy about this lifestyle we've chosen. And more than that, I think we'd say we're passionate about this lifestyle. Not that we want to force our lifestyle upon anybody else, but we're passionate about it because we're thankful. We're passionate about it because we're grateful for everything that God has done in our lives, everything that Jesus has given to us. Yes, we're happy. God is good.
I got asked recently what makes our relationship a relationship rather than a friendship, even though we do the same things with each other as we would with a friend. But I think it definitely comes from having our relationship centred, like having God in the centre of our relationship and having like affection and like loving each other.
So we believe that for a fulfilled relationship, like you have 3 areas that you really grow in, and those are friendship, romance and fellowship. And I think I've been brought to a place now where like anything me and Emma get up to after we're married, like that's going to be new and fresh and different, and like there isn't going to be a shadow in my mind, and I'm believing there's not even going to be a shadow in Emma's mind either, about anything that went before that, because that's all that's going to matter. So not there yet though, Emma, stop getting excited.